But why lead generation? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. A lot of companies have a difficult time wrapping their minds around the concept of lead generation. What is lead generation? Lead generation is the idea that you create leads early on instead of just wildly advertising whatever it is that you're selling to everybody or to a very specific group via ads. Lead generation allows you to pick out people with a very specific definition and then be able to advertise to them over and over and over again. That's the idea of lead generation, is knowing exactly who you're going after and being able to continue the conversation with them. And by doing that, you can really dramatically lower costs of entry in terms of bringing on new clients, bringing on new customers, bringing on new patients. Whatever that is, having those leads makes a huge difference, because there's always 100% is everybody out there. You don't want, I don't care what it is you're selling, you do not want to spend money trying to reach 100% of everybody, even if you think 100% of everybody is your ideal customer. If you do that, you will go out of business. You can't spend all your money doing that. So what you have to do is be able to narrow it down. First, you narrow it down a lot by where they're at, where you're advertising to them or marketing to them, and then you get very specific there. But then you got to get really good at getting even more specific and more specific and more specific. If you could have in front of you ahead of time a list of guaranteed buyers for whatever it is that the offer that you're putting out there, how much would that be worth to you? If it's guaranteed, all you have to do is get it in front of them and they are guaranteed to buy. That list doesn't exist, by the way, so don't go looking for it. But what if you could create something similar? What if you could give something away or get someone to raise their hand and say, yeah, that sounds interesting to me. That is something I would be in the market for. Well, that's what lead generation is. You're getting people to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm your market. Talk to me. Advertise to me, and you're going to have a better chance of selling to me than anybody else. And that lead generation starts out with an offer. It could be a small priced offer, or it can be a completely free offer. We see online a whole lot of free offers. And why do they want your email address? So that they can continue advertising to you. And they're judging you based on the fact that you're responding to that initial offer that they're making. They're generating a lead, and you're the lead. And they're building a way to be able to communicate with you long term. So a lot of businesses are already doing this of some sort, especially online based businesses. They have to be doing this because it only makes sense. What's amazing is the amount of businesses that don't do this, that do not have a lead database. I mean, if you deal with most restaurants, don't have any form of lead databases, and they don't have a way of generating. They have not built in a way of generating. And you could almost always, I've never seen a business where you could not create leads of some sort, where you could not generate them. Now, sometimes you got to get a little clever. You got to get a little creative on these things. But it's always possible. I was just reading some of the quotes out of this book. This is a direct marketing success edited by Denny Hatch, and it has stuff from everybody in here. And there's a whole section on lead generation, lots of good quotes and so forth. And this is Harry Krause's caveat. He says, "When seeking qualified leads, sell the offer, not the product." In other words, when you're looking at lead generation, you don't want to come straight out with the end product in mind. Unless you have, because then you're not really generating leads, you're generating customers. That's a different form of advertising. If your goal is to generate the lead so that you continue advertising to them over and over again, then you have to have an offer. And you're advertising that offer. And it's often, like I said, it's oftentimes for something free, something less expensive. It's been referred to as a tripwire or a widget or a magnet. It's referred to as a million different ways. But having that one thing, sometimes it's something as simple as information. Having that one little informational product is the way that you can get that lead and be able to have that ongoing conversation from that point forward. I know this is very beginner for a lot of you who are watching, listening, but I have to keep continuing to stir that pot and talk about it, because there are so many people I run into that don't see the value in lead generation, but it's so much more valuable than going just directly for a sale. And a whole lot of this is tied in to the concept of content marketing. In fact, most offers, most widgets, it's a form of content that you're putting out there. And even if you're selling it, that content marketing is so powerful. I have a whole training about whether content marketing is right for you or not, and it's answering that one question. Should we even be doing content marketing? And so I want you to check out that training. It's over at contentmarketingquestion.com. If that's a question you're really looking at answering, and if you're looking to go full bore into lead generation or taking your lead generation to a new level, I highly recommend content marketing if you're the right type of person. Now, there's probably 7 different scenarios. At least I outlined 7 different scenarios in this training of people who should not be doing content marketing. And so if that's one of you, it'd be well worth your time and money to check out this training, contentmarketingquestion.com. That's all I have for tonight. You have a good one. We'll be back next time. So get out there and let the magic happen.